8 hours ago.
The biggest Lego controversies the world has ever seen.
A YouTuber has gone viral.
A nationwide Lego aftermarket resale chain being sued for allegedly stealing
A very valuable Lego collection.
It's so big that it has generated news headlines, countless YouTube videos, and even has its own Wikipedia page. And what started as a simple investigation into children's toys quickly spiraled into police corruption and a SWAT raid, stemming from allegations of stalking, harassment, bomb threats, heroin possession, and even murder. This is one of the most fascinating series of videos on YouTube I've ever seen, and we are lucky enough to have the entire scandal explained to us directly from the man at the center of it all, Reckless Ben.
Reckless Ben.
Reckless Ben. Reckless Ben.
Illegal seizures, false arrests, malicious prosecutions.
This $200,000 Lego.
This is, oh my god, this is so good.
A $200,000 Lego collection went missing.
It's like the Lego cartel.
Reckless Ben was hit with a restraining order right after we filmed this video, so this may be the last time we hear Reckless Ben speak about the situation until the lawsuit is over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the cliffside with the one and only Reckless Ben Schneider.
What's up?
We're in the midst of a very exciting time right now with the Lego series going absolutely nuclear online. How is everything for you today?
A little sick because I haven't been sleeping, just trying to get these videos out, but I'm doing pretty good. Back in the country again.
And I kind of wanted to make this video to do a synopsis of the entire Lego story.
I genuinely think
Wait, so he actually was out of the country for that just because of the reason? Because he was afraid that he was going to get arrested and put in jail? I thought he was just doing it as a joke. Golly, bro.
this is just the beginning of the Lego saga. I think they're not going to give the Legos back. I think they're going to do whatever they can to like not admit that they were wrong.
How did this entire...
Well, like I said on the last video I made about this, it's like, yeah, of course. Of course they're not going to give it back because they can't. Like, if they admit and they give it back to you, the person now, or if they admit fault at all, they're done. They're in their minds, they're done. So the only thing they can do now is continue to fight it, and hopefully for something to change, something to shift in their favor. That's the only thing they can do. So, yeah. I mean, he's not wrong about that. Like, and he has inside information about like what's really going, not like what's really going on, but like the extent they're going to, and how, and he's feeling the actual pressure. Like, this is just, I'm just sitting here. I have no pressure on me from this, from Bricks and Minifigs or anything like that, obviously. And I'm telling you that they have no way, they have no other option. They'll fight this tooth and nail.
Lego thing first come across your radar?
It was in like the Loose for Valentine video. At the end, I just said, hey, if anyone has any cool problems that the police can't solve, email me at this email. And I set up like a whole email from the email me, and I'll solve it for you. Yeah, basically I posted it as we were on our way to Burning Man, where it started raining. So it was like a 22-hour line at Burning Man. So me and like Victor and like 3 other friends were just going through like the 10,000 emails. And we saw this one where it was about Legos. This company stole my Legos. I've done everything I can. The police are covering it up. And we're like, oh, that sounds fun. Like, that seems like family friendly.
Like fun.
You know, that'll probably...
That sounds like fun. We'll have your Legos back in probably a month, you know, or two. That didn't go according to plan. It actually probably went better than they expected it to, for YouTube, you know, for notoriety's sake anyway. And I am so glad it did, because this has been an amazing follow through the story. I mean, I first heard about it through Asmongold, and he was restreaming and commenting on this, which is, I think, the best way to watch it, honestly. He has a lot of good insights on it.
Be like a fun video for us to do.
What are some of the rarest Lego items in this collection?
It's called the Cloud City set. I think it's worth $10,000. Some of the little minifigs go for a lot also. Like, they can be like a couple thousand. Most of them are around like $200-300, but there's just like hundreds of them, you know? So it's like they add up to a lot of money if you like calculate them all together.
Whenever you first heard about this Lego situation, did you imagine it would be as crazy as it turned out to be?
When the guy described it to me, he's like, dude, I've done everything I can. I mean, the whole like first like 5 minutes of the Lego video is just that first FaceTime call I had with him. So, I mean, I kind of felt like where the guy crosses his arms, he's like,
let me tell you what's going to happen. If we go to court, we're going to drag this thing out so long, and you're going to end up spending so much more money than your collection is ever worth or what you ever would have gotten on it, that it ain't worth it, man.
So I was like, oh, so this guy wants to play games like this? This is like my arch nemesis. I knew from the beginning that this is the perfect person to go against. So it's what happens when an unmovable force hits an unstoppable object.
An 83-year-old man and his son Brian Mansell spent over 20 years building one of the largest private Star Wars Lego collections in the country. 780 plus sealed sets and over 1,200 minifigures. Starting back in the year 2000, they slowly built their collection up as an investment to fund college for their grandkids. In November 2023, they decided it was time to sell, so they consigned it to a Bricks and Minifigs franchise store in Salem, Oregon. Consignment basically means the store sells it for you, you keep the ownership until it sells, and you get a cut of each sale. Then on November 14th, 2024, the franchise owners got pushed out by corporate in a pretty chaotic overnight takeover, and the new owners came in claiming they had no idea a $200,000 Lego collection was sitting on those shelves. So the man at the center of all of this on the Bricks and Minifig side is the CEO, Ammon McNeff. He runs the operation alongside his brother, Matt McNeff, who serves as the COO. How do they measure up in the terms of
both look like they
people
just
that
lie
you've
for a
gone up
living.
against in the past, like Russ McKinney?
Oh, wait.
Before
They
Ben's
do.
Lego series, he made a video exposing McKamey Manor, which was widely considered the most extreme haunted house in America. He showed up in a duck onesie, got waterboarded, and ended up exposing the evil scam that Russ McKamey was running.
Once he found out that we were making a hit piece against them, he's like, oh, well, if I keep interacting with them, I'm just giving them content. I'm giving them what they want. But this Lego video seems to be these guys seem to be the only people who don't understand that, and they just keep interacting with us. I think these guys might be the stupidest people I've ever gone up against. Ammon, Brandon, and Josh. Everyone else would have realized that if they just
if they had an actual police force that actually wanted to enforce the crime there, they would be completely done, cooked, absolutely left out. I mean, they would be taken to the cleaners. But they're allowed to act this stupid because they do have those protections in place right now. They have that community just completely on their side and allowing them to get away with these crimes. I mean, quite literally. But yeah, if it was any other upstanding police department, they would be done.
give the Lego collection back, this would all be over with. And that's why it's gotten so big, I think, is because they're the first
Oh yeah, they could do that too, but we all know how that ended.
people that are stupid enough not to just do the right thing. They make almost $100 million a year in total from all their franchises combined, and they're gonna throw all that in the garbage because they don't want to give away 200.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. What the hell are they doing? You had a good, a week, a month to make this decision, and you couldn't come to an actual rational decision saying, okay, this is a YouTuber. How many followers does he have? How many people does he get around? What's the impact on this? You don't have a team that does that. That does, was that marketing strategy? Or is that social media strategy? You don't have someone that does that. You don't have a team that tells you, hey, this is a bad idea. These are, that has some kind of foresight on what would happen, or have multiple different outcomes. I bet you 100 of those, 1,000 of those, is like Doctor Strange sitting there. Oh, we have 1,000 outcomes and only one goes in our favor. Bro, that's absolutely insane. Why the hell would you go for the one that is? Your chances of this not becoming a national and absolutely destroying your business, and it will eventually destroy your business from everything that's been out. You're not going to be a company anymore that anybody's going to trust whatsoever. You're going to have to change your name and then sell your business and not be any part of it anymore. For anybody that lied about any of this or was involved in this whatsoever, they're not going to be you're ruined. And that's why they feel like they have to continue to fight this and hopefully get a win. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows that they're lying. Everybody knows that the Star Wars Legos are either been sold already or they still have them. Everybody knows that.
$100,000. Like the math doesn't add up.
And it seems like you've unearthed like this larger scheme, which is these Mormon police officers that are kind of just able to deal corruption to people. This is where our story takes a turn that nobody expected. Ben's investigation led him to American Fork, Utah, where Bricks and Minifigs corporate is headquartered. And what he found there wasn't just a company refusing to return some Legos. He found a police department that appeared to be actively siding with the company against him. The police repeatedly showed favor to Josh Johnson and seemed to take direction from him. They pulled Ben over on false pretenses.
What's your name? The only reason why.
Are you Ben? And
because every evidence, everything they've said,
later,
everything that they've tried to say or do or is all recorded. It's all, there's a bunch of evidence that points at them being in the wrong. But the only reason they're allowed to get away with this is because the police department there and the justice system there, like the people that, like the judges there, and it's mainly the police officers. It starts with them.
And members of his crew. The body cam footage later revealed that the police were actually aware that they had no legal grounds to stop him.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Looks like this.
Someone said his dog's hanging out.
I was
like, whenever I saw that comment, I was like actually looking for dogs on the porch. I completely forgot that feet were actually called dogs, or could be referred to as dogs. So I was like, "Where's the dogs?" No, there's no dogs. I mean, there are dogs, but they're not the kind of dogs.
It just hasn't.
Yeah, it's always dogs. That's what
it's kind of funny. It's kind of turned into a Mormon police corruption video. Like a lot of the comments now, people are like, "I don't even care about the Legos anymore. I just want to see the American Fork police go down." I always thought Mormons were supposed to be nice, you know, like don't steal from people. How can these guys be Mormon? They're doing the exact opposite of what Mormons believe in. You know, it's crazy.
You find out about
that's crazy too, because I remember in the video before he had one of the younger Mormons go to like a Gen Zer Mormon, like that guy looked like Nick Fuentes on, but like doesn't, just is a Mormon, you know, a Mormon Nick Fuentes, like this is how he looked. And then he was like, and he goes to the guy's house and the police officer was already there. That's wild, dude. You got 24-hour protection without having to pay for it. Some people have to pay for that. I mean, even athletes don't even get that kind of treatment. That's crazy.
the whole thing with Brian and you want to help, you want to get him his Legos back, what's the first thing that you did?
So it's a little bit out of order. We got Amanda to sign the document with the UPS driver.
Before Ben first entered the franchise where Brian's Legos were left, he created a contract for the store manager, Amanda, to sign, giving him permission to enter the premises.
Can I get a signature?
For some reason, Amanda just started signing our contract without even reading it.
Amanda was unaware she was signing this contract and actually thought she was signing for a UPS delivery. Ben utilized the duty-to-read contract concept as his justification to trick Amanda into signing. Can you explain more in detail about the duty-to-read contract law?
So there is a clause in the United States called the duty-to-read contracts law. It's always the signer's fault, basically. If you sign something, even if it's something that's stupid, it's like terms and conditions, like there's no way you're reading all 150 pages of these terms and conditions. They could put something crazy in there and you would have to follow it.
Ben's reasoning to have Amanda sign the contract was to avoid being trespassed like Brian was when he originally tried to get his collection back.
So he's like, if I got trespassed, you guys are definitely getting trespassed. That's something he told us.
So that probably like fired you up in your mind. They're like, oh, if you're going to trespass Brian.
Yeah, because he has an actual reason to be there. Like his Legos are in the store. And so he just went into the store to ask for his Legos back and they called the cops on him and trespassed him. Before we went, I was like, I want to at least make sure I'm safe. So we sent in my friend Shep.
If you have a product there that you're selling that is yours and it's on file and you have paperwork at this place that you bought these items from, or not you bought them, but you have them being sold at, or it's your product there, you should not be able to be trespassed, especially if you're not being violent or belligerent or even, what is that called, confrontational at all. If you're not being annoying, if you're not within the rights to be there, which having product at that store and having proof that it's at that store and that you have not been paid for it or given it back, you should not be able to be trespassed from that store. Not until you have been settled with your product. Now, like I said, you still have to be a decent person. Like, you can't go in there being belligerent and throwing stuff. Yeah, of course, get them out of here. You know, there's no room for that. You can be civil. Be a civil person. Go in there and asking for your stuff back. You should not be able to be trespassed without evidence of you being violent, belligerent, or annoying, or a distraction from you doing your job at that business. Just my thought.
And so she signed a paper saying that we can't be trespassed for the next 10 years.
What was the next thing that you did?
Yeah, basically
10 years?
Put on a pair of spy camera
10 years?
glasses.
Do restraining orders even last 10 years? Do restraining orders even last 10 years? Hold on. I have to know this. Because I really don't know this. What in the world is going on here? Yeah, I guess that's nothing there. Give me a second. Do restrain. Oh. Oh. I don't know why I said do. How long do restraining orders last in Utah, was it? I think so. Sounds about right. Temporary, final. So up to 3 years total in some cases. Yeah. Bruh. That's wild.
And I just walked in being like, hey, my friend has some of his Legos in here. He'd like to get them back. And that's when the manager basically is like, you were harassing me.
You want to watch the cameras? I'm being harassed.
I hear what you're coming from. Trespassing
Like,
without
get
evidence
out
sounds
right
like
now. And she calls on the phone.
a loophole.
911, get here immediately. Like,
Yeah,
this
but
hooligan is
also,
harassing me in my store. I thought it was a fair question. Like, hey, my friend
I'm
has some
talking about a
Legos in here.
business.
Can we work
If you have a
together
right to
see
be there,
what's
if you
going
have
on?
business
Seems like this
there.
was realistically
I'm not
more
talking
like a
about
defense
property.
mechanism for the store
Now,
to
if
be able to get away with
your
this
item
stuff,
is on
because
someone's
if they steal
property,
something and then say, hey, the
depends on
person
how
that
it
we
got
stole
there.
from's harassing me, then it allows them to not get in trouble for their crimes, is what I think was happening.
So you dealt with the ridiculous, like, crying and screaming, oh, you're harassing me, and then the next thing you did was you took one of the employees out into the woods.
All cults do.
Oh yeah,
rituals
I
to make you
forgot
feel
about
like
this part of the
one
story.
with the
That
group.
was crazy.
So now we have to become one.
I
with
feel
this
so
Bricks
bad
and
for this
Minifigs
person.
employee.
Man, I would feel like I got tricked and just.
The manager kept saying, like, you got to talk to the owners about this. Like, this doesn't involve me, this involves the owners. But then when I asked her, like, okay, like, you set me up with, like, a meeting with the owners, she's like, I'm not giving you the owners' numbers. You got to leave now or you're getting trespassed. And so I'm like, okay, so, like, how am I supposed to, like, talk to the owner then if you won't give me the owner's number? And she's like, that's your problem. She was like, I don't want to give you your stuff back, and this is a loophole we're using. So basically we're like, okay, if we have to get the owner's number, these employees are too brainwashed to give it to us, you know? But, like, luckily for me, my whole career has been, like, infiltrating cults and, like, studying brainwashing and stuff. So we're like, what if we just brainwash the employees even harder, corporates from brainwashing them, and then we can get the owner's number. So that's exactly what we did. I went through all my videos, like the 12 Tribes videos, the Scientology videos, the McCabe Manor videos. And I was like, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing to this employee, and it worked. Like, we, like, fully brainwashed her. Oh shoot, we're getting to, like, the edge of this cliff. It's like a cliff on all sides of us. Okay, let's walk back the other way.
I can't get Reckless Ben killed on a cliffside. This is
it looks like
dangerous.
It looks like we might have hit a dead end where there's a drop off on all sides of us. So let's head back. So we brainwashed her. We got Joshua Johnson's number after I was sick. We're basically like, okay, now we have the owner's number, and so we call him. And what he basically says, I'm not in that contract. Like, Brian made the contract with the previous owner. For me to be under contract with someone, I have to sign a piece of paper. I never signed something with Brian, so I'm not under contract with them. And obviously my response to that was, yeah, but you took over that agreement when you took over the store, you know, like, he's like, but that's not how the law works.
Josh Johnson's defense this entire time has been pretty simple. He never personally signed a contract with Brian. The consignment agreement was between Brian and the previous owners, Crystal and Ben Gorman. So in his mind, when he took over the store, he also took over the inventory inside, but not the obligations that came with it. The problem is that's not how the law works. Legal Eagle put it best. A landlord that takes over a property does not become the owner of the tenant's belongings just because the belongings are inside the home. The Legos were never Bricks and Minifigs property to begin with. The consignment agreement made that crystal clear.
It's kind of funny because if you watch a bunch of like lawyer reacts videos, every single
unless you write that into the contract, then you don't they're not yours. Like, unless you're like, okay, so I want the lawnmower to come with the house, you know, can we put that into, you can put whatever you want when you buy a house. You can say, hey, I want the furniture, I want the lawnmower, I want the lawn equipment, I want the hoses that are still at the house, I want this place fully furnished, I want to be able to just jump in and just move my clothes in. That's it. Now they can agree, or they can say, yeah, F you, we're not leaving our stuff here. That's our stuff. We're moving to another house, you know? But if they leave it there and you buy the house, yet it's not yours. They got to move it out first. Now you can probably put it in the clause like, hey, yeah, well, I need you out by this time, or this stuff's mine, you know? You can do that too. You can cover your bases. If you have a really good, what is it called? Realtor, they can put that in there. But yeah, it makes sense what he said. So you either give the Legos back, or you pay the money that you owe him. Whether that be 200,000 or that be 100,000 or 70,000. Figure it out. That's what you should have done. And now you're getting dragged, and you don't like it. You hate it. I can tell they hate it so much, and they're just, I hope they're uncomfortable and uneasy and just always checking. And when their phone rings on or buzzes in their pocket, that they're just terrified to look at their phone. I hope they're terrified to look at their computer, open the computer, open their email from legal action, not from threats. I don't support threatening people or threatening their lives or anything like that, or death threats like that. I do not support that whatsoever. I am talking legit, I'm talking only on the basis of legal action or more social media posted about how they're lying, or other people getting in on this. That is going to make it really hard for them to back out or win, I guess would be to win this. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, but anyway, yeah, I think that's what they deserve. They deserve to be terrified until they do what's right, or until they're made to do what's right. Sooner they get it done, the sooner it'll be over.
Lawyer says that is how the law works. So Josh is just wrong. He thinks I'm just some kid that doesn't know the law.
They think that just because it changed ownership, that somehow the Legos that are on consignment are all of a sudden their property. Like, it just makes no sense. They think they can just get away with it because why? Like, I don't really understand.
It is a little complicated. You know, it's a little confusing.
This guy's a little fixated.
So I think they're trying to use the confusion to get away with it. Like, oh, it's confusing.
So I feel like I would be.
So even though we're in the wrong, we can just claim that we were confused. We'll be like, oh, we weren't trying to steal them. This was just a confusing legal dispute. Maybe we were in the wrong, but because it's so confusing, we weren't intentionally doing something bad. It was just a confusing situation is the kind of thing. But the actual loophole he's trying to use is that Crystal and Brian made the agreement, not me. So since I'm not in agreement with Brian, I don't have to give him his stuff back. I don't have an agreement with him that says I have to. You know, he's like, what law says I have to give the stuff back? Like, when I inherited the store, I inherited everything in the store, even though those weren't his to inherit. And that's the thing I keep saying. And that's when I bring that up, then his answer is,
not only was that not his to inherit, that was, I mean, if you inherit the product inside the store, you inherit the debt or the obligation as well. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's logical reasoning. Like if you say, oh yeah, I inherited this stuff inside the store, but not the obligation. That's anybody's dream, you know? That's like having a credit card limit of $1 million, right? But it's almost maxed out. It's at like 900,000. And then you go and you take it, you change ownerships of who has to pay it. And you're just like, yeah, I get the credit limit without the already maxed out credit limit. No, sorry, buddy. You got to pay the credit limit or you have to pay, you get the credit limit. Great. Awesome. Yeah. But you have to pay the almost maxed out or fully maxed out credit.
So you can sue me then, you know? Yeah, it always just, every time he gets proven wrong, it just comes down to, okay, sue me then.
We just missed it. We just had a rough fall. Dude, how did you just eat that fall so effortlessly and just get right back up?
I agree.
Rollerblading, dude. I've been taking some gnarly falls rollerblading.
I don't think the camera's capturing it, but...
Yeah, probably not. It never does. When I found out
he said it never does.
For Brian to sue this company.
I feel like that's the story of his life. Like, bro... gets hurt and he never has it on camera, or he takes a dump, and that would be just, that's crazy. It's kind of like you having a quick reaction and nobody saw it, and you're just like over here looking like, damn.
If he tries to sue them, they know how to drag it out in court in order to make it more expensive than the Lego set's worth. So then even if he wins the court case, he'll just lose money on court. Like he'll still be at a net negative, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What's their motivation?
So before this, Joshua Johnson and Eamon both...
That's what they were betting on. They were betting on him not be able to take it to court. They were betting on him not be able to fight this at all. And that's how corporations do this to people. That's how big corporations do this to individuals. That's why class action lawsuits are normally settled, because you got a big law firm fighting another big law firm. But who really wins here? So it's the law firms, obviously.
Had previous businesses. Eamon's was called Legally Mine.
He ran a company called Legally Mine, a business that helped people protect their assets from lawsuits. His entire professional career is built around finding legal ways to hold on to things. His partner Joshua Johnson has a background in asset protection as well. The irony is that if you look at how Bricks and Minifigs has handled this whole situation, pointing to the franchise, distancing corporate from the franchisee's obligations, and hiding behind arbitration clauses, that's not a coincidence. That's the exact playbook Legally Mine sold to clients. What's interesting is their court records show Eamon McNeff and his brother Matt filed a lawsuit against their own father over control of Legally Mine. The case was eventually dropped before any ruling was made. Around the same time, Legally Mine was shut down by the Ohio Attorney General in 2025. Whether or not those things are connected to what happened to Brian Mansell and the Legos is for you to decide.
If you look at both of their careers and their past history, Joshua Johnson was in asset protection, and same with Eamon. It's like his Legally Mine company is like, I'm going to find a way to make this legally mine. So I think they just have fun with like stealing things. I don't know. If I had to guess, I don't know. I literally think they just have made careers out of stealing things, and it's just fun for them to like, I found a leak.
Dude, I didn't even know that. That's crazy. If those are linked somehow, that's absolutely insane. I really hope that there is more in this. Like, if they dig even deeper, that they'll find even more stuff, and they'll make it even more of a, oh my word, this is absolutely insane. It should not be allowed to happen. Like, how do you do that? That's part of the strategy, becoming like brainwashing your local government. Is that part of the strategy to make things yours? No, step number one: make the local government do what you want by brainwashing them into thinking you're right. That's the first one on the list.
Legal loophole and able to make your stuff my stuff.
Ben's description isn't exactly accurate. The company wasn't about taking things. It was actually a legitimate asset protection firm, teaching businesses how to legally shield themselves from lawsuits.
They told you that you should just sue them. They're kind of egging you on. You decided that you were going to hang up the sign on their outside their store saying we steal from old people.
Well, yeah, basically my whole career has just been give them a taste of their own medicine, you know? I was like, well, if they're doing the illegal activity, like an illegal business move against Brian, and it's destroying Brian's life, what if we do an illegal business move against Bricks and Minifigs and have it destroy their life to see how they like it? We can just bully them the same way they're bullying Brian, like how corporate would just say, hey, go to the franchise. We can't control our franchises. And the franchise would go, hey, corporate told us to do this. Go to corporate. They just bounce back each other. So I was like, we could just do the same thing back to them, you know? Like all of their bad business moves, we just Uno reverse card it back onto them and see how they like it.
So Ben decides to fight fire with fire. He sets up a real, legally registered company called We Steal from Old People and lists Bricks and Minifigs as the tagline above it. In America, there's no law that your tagline has to go beneath your company name. So technically, from a legal perspective, the sign outside the door that Ben had up was not defamation, just interesting graphic design. He also started selling merchandise outside the storefront. Mugs, t-shirts, necklaces, essentially running a competing business right on their doorstep. The whole point was to mirror every tactic Bricks and Minifigs used against Brian and turn it onto them.
So that's where you got the idea to put the sign outside their store?
Basically what we're thinking is like, what's the easiest way to like just piss them off? And we're like, let's steal their name, you know? It could like start a lawsuit, which would piss them off, and then we'll just do the same thing. We'll drag it out in court, put the blame on our lower franchises. We'll just do all the same stuff they're doing back to us, you know? So yeah, we ended up printing out a sign that says like we steal from old people. It was the wrong size, unfortunately. You can like see it in the background of the video as we're like selling stuff outside their store. It's just like it kind of like wrapped in on itself. It was like not good. The whole thing with the channel is if at first you don't succeed, try again. So we did, and we came back and we put a bigger sign over later, but that's kind of a spoiler for the end. That's the cool thing about our channel is yeah, every time we mess up, we just find out where we went wrong, and then we just like 10x it for the next attempt, you know? Yeah, I was selling stuff outside the store. We had like mugs. Oh, I think we have one left over still. Let's see.
Wait, so this right here is a one of one Bricks and Minifigs?
One of like 6. I think we had like 6 of them probably, and I sold like 5 while I was outside their store, and this is the only one that
he sold 5 of them.
Cup. So yeah, you're posted up outside.
Bro, those guys that have those 5, man.
Oh my God. Bricks and Minifigs, we steal from old people. What Bricks and Minifigs doesn't know is that when we go to court, that's when we make our grand reveal. We steal from old people is actually the company name, then Bricks and Minifigs is actually just the tagline. Yeah, they called the cops on us, and I've already been trespassed. Like if I leave before they sue me, then the whole plan's gone. So I was like, how do we still get them to sue me and me not leave the scene? So I had someone else whose name was Ben. His name was Ben too. We had the exact same outfit on. We did like a switcheroo. Nice. This is now a legal term called a switcheroo. So we did a switcheroo, which is the legal way we avoided the cops. And he ended up talking to the cops as I got away. I tried to swim across the river, but it was too cold. The cops called me and we did the same thing back on them. It was sick. And they're like, but who? They're like, we need to talk to the person in charge. And then Ben's just like, oh, you can talk to corporate. He's like, I don't know. I can't give you his name, but if you want to talk to him, here you go. And I'm like, this is corporate. And we just didn't tell him. Like, basically, Uno reversed them, and they were like pissed off. You know, it's like, haha, this is what you've been doing to us the whole time. Yeah. You know,
introduce them to the bureaucratic mess.
I told the CEO, I was like, he's like, this is not the way you do this. I'm like, I can't control my franchises.
Right. I mean, whatever like my like franchises do, like underneath me, I guess that's like, I can't really control them. I'm just corporate, I guess.
Are you a registered franchise?
Yeah.
What? You guys have FDDs and everything else?
Yeah.
What states are you registered in?
Oregon.
You're a registered franchisor, so...
Yeah, I'm actually a franchise owner of the franchise, too.
I'm a franchise owner of the franchise.
Pretty much better than anyone that he can't get us in trouble for what we're doing, because we can always just keep passing the blame onto our lower franchises.
And then he's like, I see what you're doing.
I get what you're doing. I appreciate that you think you're being very clever.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, like we just stole his method, you know, like he had this like technique of, I guess, how they get away with crimes and stuff. And so we just did the same thing back to them. And he's like, okay, you guys are going to play the same way we're playing. He's like, okay. And so it kind of really is like the perfect battle, you know, because like he's like an unstoppable like loophole force for bad. And I'm like an unstoppable loophole force for good. And now we're just like going at it. And it's like the perfect like war, you know. I'm just like some stupid person. I don't really know what like civil crimes are and like, criminal crimes. So I did a lot of research, like, okay, defamation, you know, that's like a civil crime. There's like criminal crimes. I was like just reading through like the thousands of crimes that are criminal crimes, you know, just looking to see if they committed any of these, you know. Stealing from a lottery was a criminal crime in Oregon. Well, what if we just do a lottery, you know? Like if we sell one of his sets in a lottery, then they'll have stolen from a lottery, they'll have committed a criminal crime, and it's like black and white, the police have to arrest them, you know? Everyone was telling me, they're like, dude, no way the police arrest them. I'm like, why not? And they're like, I don't know, they probably don't know the law. So I was like, okay, I'll pull out the Oregon law book. So I literally got the Oregon law book It's in my room right now. I can pull it out. We got the Oregon Law Book, Oregon Revised Statutes, Volume 4 of the Criminal Procedure Crimes. So this isn't civil crimes. This is the Criminal Law Book of Oregon. We circled, I mean, you can see all this stuff we highlighted in here. We highlighted it. We circled all the crimes that they broke. They have broken a criminal crime. The police are required to investigate this now. The first officer, he's like, yeah, you're right. He's like, let's do a police investigation on this. And that's when you can see in the footage, the cop like whispers something in the other guy's ear, you know, and then they were talking for like 30 seconds, like privately.
Bro, you see that?
They were just like, oh, you guys are trespassed. Nope, not doing this criminal case anymore. Like, you guys got to get out or else you're getting in handcuffs is what they
see
said.
that?
And we're like, what? But they just did a criminal crime. We haven't done anything illegal. Like, shouldn't you be arresting the criminals? And they're like, nope, we're arresting you guys. I'm like, why? And then they just left. This is when Josh finally tells us he's going to give us the Legos back, because I think we've just been, because I like called Josh and he's like, you know, you just committed this criminal crime. The police will be arresting you soon. And this is when he's finally like, okay, like, you just got to apologize and give us these like reviews and stuff. So like all of us, we made like a 5-star review on the Lego website. I think mine's still on. You can like see it. I was like, Amanda was so patient with me. She was very understanding and the best employee ever. And so we just made like 6 positive reviews. We're like, hey, we canceled out your negative reviews. Like, and then I did like the deep fake thing and we gave him an apology. And then he's like, okay, I'll give him back. Now you just got to apologize to Amanda. And I'm like, well, but we can't go back. We're already trespassed. That's his like plan. Like, he doesn't actually want to get his Legos back. He's just trying to get us arrested.
Yeah, now he's playing a bit of 3D chess.
On video, you can see he gives us permission. He's like, yep, you can go back. You give me permission to go into the store to apologize to her, to make peace? Sure, yeah. And then we go back, we do the whole like peace treaty thing, because we want it to be like official, you know, like we have a peace treaty, you know. Immediately we walk in, I mean, I was like, I'm calling the police on you guys. So I think it was a trap. Like, they were like, hey, if you go back, you're going to get arrested. And then you can see, because they had a month to give us the Legos back. And every day they're like, oh, we'll give it back tomorrow. We'll give it back tomorrow. We'll give it back tomorrow. Every day for a month. And they never gave it back. I mean, that's been this whole video, is them just trying to make up ways to get us in jail. And that way they don't have to give the stuff back.
In the moment, are you maybe thinking that these guys have a little bit of good faith and are actually possibly going to give you the Legos back?
I mean, yeah, I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, no, we genuinely thought we were getting the Legos back. We were like, yeah, and that's why we were like kind of disappointed in that clip. Dang, there was so much stuff we still wanted to do, you know? I didn't think someone could swear on God and everything and break that promise.
Yeah, was it a surprise at all to find out that Brandon and Josh were
Amen. Yeah. Holy cow. That's crazy. Like, how do you do that? Think about that. That's wild. Only someone that is that self-centered and so selfish and thinks he's the smartest person in the room can do that without blinking an eye.
Dude, that was crazy. I think in Mormonism, it's like super wrong to steal. They've made their whole careers out of just stealing from people. They're either Mormons and are masochists, or they're fake Mormons. It's one or the other. It can't be anything else, I don't think.
After every direct approach failed, the police, the DA, the good faith conversations, and the lottery, Ben and his team came up with one more move. Ben and 9 of his friends all purchased $10,000 worth of Brian's Lego collection, totaling $100,000.
By purchasing parts of it, they were then able to file individual lawsuits against Bricks and Minifigs.
Each person is just individually suing for their section of the debt that Bricks and Minifigs owes them, which is totally legal. It's not claim splitting.
Making each of them a separate victim with their own legal standing to sue. 10 individual small claims cases filed against Bricks and Minifigs simultaneously.
We file a motion for default judgment, they get the papers, and then immediately just close down the store. I couldn't believe it. Literally one day after we file a motion for default judgment, they permanently closed down the store.
They say that they closed it down just because of your antics?
Yeah, they said that because they were being harassed by us, they closed down the store.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're scared of the legal stuff.
So we went to their houses and we had to have what's called a good faith conversation before suing them. Hey, we know you closed down the store to avoid being sued by us. We are just going to sue you personally, so we can talk it out, or we can just sue you again. What do you want? Brandon was dead silent, didn't answer me. You're not going to answer, I guess. We'll just sue you then. That legally counted as a good faith conversation, so.
You're one of the only people that I know personally. We're 30, by the way. But, you know, as 30-year-olds, you don't know that many people who've been in lawsuits. How do you feel about, you know, actually trying to, in good faith, use the legal system? Because it seems quite difficult.
Dude, it's so boring. Oh my gosh, I hate the legal system. It is, and there's like some really interesting parts about it. I did do like all the
forever to get anything
for 10 lawsuits, like the proof of
service. It costs so much money.
Stupid amount of work. The like legal.
And you have to have it done right.
Like, finding the loopholes.
Or you have to do it again.
Like doing like the busy work. You know? Dude, the court system's so stupid. Like, why can't you just email them or call them?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You're going to court. Like, why do you?
Why are we not in the 21st century?
It makes no sense.
It's odd, isn't it? Like, it's literally weird.
Yeah, and then they can just be like, oh, I don't want service, and I'm like, well, then how do I take you to court? Like, the whole court system literally makes zero sense. I feel like
that's when I was watching your video. That's what really stood out to me. I was like, bro, that's crazy that this is the actual legal system. Yeah. Like, you think that you were just messing around.
Well, that was kind of part of the joke too. Is we're like, let's just follow the legal system. I'm just going to his house to serve papers.
You just found some random girl that could serve papers on Instagram. What was going through your head when the cop was explaining that you should do exactly what you were doing while insisting that you're doing the wrong thing?
I kept just asking him like, hey, what's Josh's side of the story? And it just seemed like the cops didn't really know what was going on, because they like came back and they're like, I've never seen these papers. They kept saying the court case was fake, and once they verified it was real, that's when they finally arrested me.
You know why they've never seen papers like that? It's because nobody's ever been able to successfully try to serve a civil lawsuit in that state because of the ridiculous way you have to do it. Like, who's gonna go serve so many papers? Who's gonna try to do that in that state?
Well, it's very unfortunate that Ben is being hit with charges and lawsuits and dealing with corrupt police officers. Just like not all police officers are the same, is the same exact reason that
especially when you have to do it in person, and it has to be, you have to have video evidence, and they have to take what you're trying to serve them.
Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan have been fighting for the people for over 35 injured you in this video.
I didn't want to be rude, you know. I was like, he's like on the phone with someone. Turns out he was on the phone with the police. I thought he was just on the phone with like corporate, you know. If I come in while he's on the phone, he's probably just gonna get super pissed, and like I wanted his full attention, you know. He's gonna be like distracted. He's like, hey Ben, blah, blah, blah. Like, and you could use his phone call as a reason to not talk to me, you know. Like, I'm on the phone, like, don't talk to me. So I thought waiting until his phone call ended was the best thing to do, you know. So I was like, okay, I'll wait for his phone call. But then before he gets off the phone, the police show up. I think what happens is he's on the phone with the police already, and then he's like, this mysterious car showed up. I bet it's Ben Schneider. I think one of my favorite parts was when they're like, this is a civil matter, so you just have to handle it civilly. And they're like, he doesn't want your papers, you just have to figure out civilly. And I'm like, this is the civil method, you know, like, to do it civilly, you have to serve. They're like, well, then just sue him then. I'm like, that's what we're doing. Like, well, this is the civil method. Like, to do it civilly, you have to sue. Yeah, but this is like stalking him, so just take him to court and handle it civilly. Like, but this is a circle. Like,
yeah, like there's no other way to do it.
Probably in some of the body cam footage, where I'm like, if we take him to court for not being able to sue him, then we will be back here tomorrow to sue him for not being able to sue him. Like, how does that make any sense? You know, we should have just not asked questions and then come back the next day to sue him for not being able to sue him. Like, hey, we're just doing what the police told us. Like, this is literally, we're following the instructions. But
the police are just siding with his word over yours.
Yeah,
like, and he's just blatantly lying.
Once they found out that it was a real court case, like, they know it's a lie now, and they know that it is real, but they still chose to arrest me. Even so, you can't even say that they were just listening to his lies.
When the police were ineffective at serving the papers,
not doing what they're supposed to do.
It kind of puts me in a little bit of bind. It's fake.
Ben explored other methods to convince Josh to return the Legos. One method was employing a random Mormon kid to go to his house and ask him in good faith to return them.
Josh is never going to listen to anything I ever tell him. But if someone from his church heard this audio, maybe he would listen to them. So after finding exactly what church these guys go to, we went to it and showed one of the Mormons there this audio clip. And the Mormon thought that the best thing to do was to have a talk with Josh to save him from going to this outer darkness.
Okay, good luck. Our goal was to like actually get Josh to listen to him and be like, oh, maybe this is a sin. Maybe I can give the Legos back and go to heaven. You know, like if he is a real Mormon, that's what a real Mormon would do, right? Is acknowledge that they're sinning, do the right thing, and see if they can go to heaven, you know? So I legitimately thought that was a way to get the Legos back and also help Josh from going to the outer darkness. Like, I really thought that was going to work, but it didn't work. And then that's when the cops pulled us over for heroin.
This is where things get disturbing. Ben and his crew got pulled over by local.
Right, we'll have to continue this later. But yeah, I'll watch the second half tomorrow. Did I already give it a like? I don't know if I already posted this in here, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Here. Whoops, wrong person. There we go. All right. That was fun. Oh, what else? I was gonna play some Destiny too, but I don't have very much time to do that. I'll probably just cut it short. Go to bed. See y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna think about buying Age of Empires collection. Age of Empires 2 or is it 6? 5? Something like that. I don't know. Maybe both. Playing that. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah, serving by via email would be yeah, that definitely would save so much more time. I agree with that one. That is, I don't know why our justice system can't be brought into the 21st century. I mean, I feel like that's kind of ridiculous and counterintuitive. Or, I mean, it's all by design also too, so they could get away with doing the least amount of work as possible. I got the patience for it. Don't worry, I got the patience for it. I actually might play Destiny 2 all day tomorrow. Actually, first watch the second half of this, and then play Destiny 2. That sounds like the plan. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Peace.